There are 5 teams with 100% records at the start of the season, and here are 2 of them. Little Doncaster have made the dream start. Today they face their most critical examination. Multi-talented Leeds arrive at Tattersfield for the David and Goliath show to end them all. The teams watch out for South African Jamie Bloom and his battle at fullback with teenager Graham Holroyd. On the wing, Mark Roach and Alan Tate, an international fullback who plays on the wing for the first time for Leeds in the big league. And Max Tomlinson and the outstanding youngster, 17-year-old Francis Cummins. Dave Evans has the difficult task of stopping Kevin Iro, while Audley Pennant has moved back into the centres and goes head-to-head against Craig Innes. Stand off the Great Britain captain Gary Schofield and Alex Green, a try against Widnes last Friday. At halfback, it's Brendan Carlisle and the French international captain Patrick Ontard. The prop forwards, Wayne Jackson, the Dons' £40,000 buy from Hulk AR, and Asini Milo, who joined Leeds from Widnes this summer. Vila Matuatir, the New Zealander, against Big Harvey Howard, another ex-Widnes man in this Leeds side. Hooker sees Kiwi Sonny Wakaru up against James Lowes, who makes his first appearance of the season after injury. Second row, Tony Miller and New Zealand international Gary Mercer, and Glyn Lingard against British Test star Richie Ayres. Loose forward, Rocky Turner, the Doncaster captain, and the Leeds skipper and new Great Britain coach, Ellery Hanley. Coaches, they were teammates for Great Britain on the 1970 tour down under. It's Tony Fisher and Doug Lawton. Tattersfield boasts a new record attendance for the visit of high-flying Leeds. Over 8,000 inside the ground as referee Ian Ollerton gets this match between 2 of the 100%ers in the big league underway. It's the Stones Bidder Championship Division 1, and something today simply has got to give.
Not a bad start by the Leeds prop forward, Harvey Howard. They mean business. It's going to be rough and tough up there in the forwards. He will lead the way.
Leeds, though, penalised early for holding down in the tackle. And Doncaster have taken the penalty quickly. Trying to catch Leeds on the hop. It's Brendan Carlisle, picks himself up. Wakaru is the dummy half. Swarming Leeds defence.
Good thinking there by the youngster Brendan Carlisle. He could see that Leeds were slow to go back. Half of the team was offside. They'd not gone back to 10, so it had a free run.
It's Lingard, the second row forward, who is enveloped by those 3. Opening minutes here, and there surely might be a penalty. No, referee says play on. Leeds are certainly very slow to get to their feet in the early moments here. Alex Green, ball out wide, but not the best pass in the world. Mark Roach couldn't do much with it.
Just lost his way there, did the standoff Alex Green. He was trying to bring Audley Pennant through. A little bit late there was the centre. No chance for that man, Mark Roach, to get anywhere near it.
Penalty been given because Mark Roach was all over his opposite number, Alan Tate. Wouldn't allow him to get to his feet. So Leeds take the penalty, dump it down into the Doncaster half of the field. Both these sides with 100% records. Who would have thought that little Doncaster would be alongside such names as Leeds, Wigan, Bradford and Castleford? But they are. And there's Alan Tate playing in the unaccustomed number 2 jersey on the wing for Leeds today. On tap finds Mercer. He unloads the ball to Lowes. Loads to Hanley. Hanley to Innes. Innes tries to find Cummins and couldn't. And Tomlinson picks it up and is forced into touch. And look at the congratulatory pats on the back for the Leeds big men.
Well, Cummins tried to come back on the inside there, his opposite number, Max Tomlinson. But Cummins recovered through. Richie Ayres was to help. Recovered well then did the youngster.
Onta dives in the pass to Schofield. Finds Innes. Great run from deep by Cummins. Leeds look in the mood. Tate was the dummy half. This is Innes.
Good tactics by Leeds. They realise they've got to get the ball out wide. They don't want to mix it. This Doncaster pack is quite solid, and with tackling like that, Their defence is going to be good too.
Tony Miller, the man who put that tackle in. This is Schofield to Holroyd. Barrel of a tackle by the centre Evans. And the winger Tomlinson hacks it forward, goes on the chase. Leeds get away with it. Tate is back there. My word, what a start to this match. Roared on by this record crowd.
Good kick through by Max Tomlinson. The mistake was coming. That was a great tackle, but good work by Harvey Howard. The prop forward got back, got in between Max Tomlinson. Otherwise, it would have been a clear try. There you could see it was Howard that got mixed in there. It was enough to put them off.
Richiers in possession, and Alan Tate is back in the full-back role at the moment because Graham Holroyd is flat out and receiving treatment. Here's Ellery Hanley, slipped a lovely ball to Ontar. Ontar back inside to Mercer. He's pursued by Pennant, who pulls him down. It's the last tackle for Leeds. What a start to this match. Hanley dabs the ball forward, and it only finds touch. Both sides keen to attack.
Nice kick there from the lead skipper, Ellery Hanley. But what a beautiful little ball from Patrick Ontar. Sent the New Zealander, Gary Mercer, racing through, but equal to the task was the centre Pennant. All action. This is going to be a cracker.
Well, Leeds coming into this match having won their first two of the season, just as they did last season. Then they lost their third match to Wigan. Doncaster, though, with all due respect, a little different proposition. But Leeds warming up for the match against Wigan next week. The head-to-head between these two sides, 35 matches, it's overwhelmingly Leeds, 31-4.
Doncaster, as we saw last week, when the defeated Widnes, they used their forward power to its fullest. They'll try the same technique, but Leeds realise they don't want to get mixed in a big hitting game in the forwards.
Oh, and that was a pass almost picked up by Innes, but the referee will call them back for the knock-on. The whistle has gone. It was Matuatia, I think, who made a bit of a meal of it.
Definitely touched there by Innes. You could see that Max Tomlinson never had much chance to get through, but the referee tried to play on. There was no advantage to Doncaster. Good refereeing by Ollerton there.
And not the best pass in the world. That was almost intercepted by Innes. This is Jamie Bloom. What a start to the big league career he has had.
Pretty hard job for the referee in Ollerton. There's a lot going on in the tackles. Niggling and pushing down. He's finding it difficult to get them all on side. The crowd don't like it.
It's a very shallow 10 metres, no doubt about that. Here's Pennant. Audley Pennant, 31-year-old, his 290th Doncaster appearance today. Mercer tumbles as he gets down. Oh, the passes are just a little bit ambitious, and players on both sides a little over-eager at the moment. Here's Bloom, though. Leeds will let this fellow run at their peril.
Well, it just held off the full-back. The South African went weaving through. He opted to go on the blind side, and Leeds failed to go forward. That's not the best kick either.
Rocky Turner's kick right down the throat of Alan Tate. Iro, we saw what he did to Workington Town on Sky a week last Friday.
Let's go!
Gary Mercer now. Certainly Doncaster in the opening 7 minutes competing very well with their illustrious neighbours.
And producing some copybook tackling.
Schofield, the runner was Richiers. They're tackling so well, Doncaster, at the moment. Schofield switches it down the blind side. Innes with a chip over the top. Fullback Bloom is there and steps away from Innes, but was it obstruction by the other Doncaster player?
No, there was no man close enough to call it an obstruction in my book. There you can see it. He won't run away, did Max Tomlinson. A little bit too strong, that kick there from Craig Innes, but it's all action. Oh, that's a swinging arm right in front of the referee. That's silly play. Here it comes, the right one. Oh, come on.
Little Alex Green feeling the full weight of the right arm of Harvey Howard. £105,000 in January from Widnes. Howard Turner deposits the penalty into touch.
Silly mistake there by Leeds player prop forward Harvey Howard, right in front of the referee Ollerton.
Wayne Jackson with that barrelling run. Ollerton trying to police the play of the ball, forcing Leeds back the 10. But only forcing them back with a point of a finger. And there's a knock-on from Rocky Turner. It wasn't the best pass, it was all round his ankles.
Hardly any chance there for the skipper, Rocky Turner. He knows it's a bad mistake. That was only the second tackle. Can't afford to give up possession early in the tackle count.
Innes, Iro, Holroyd fully recovered, ball out wide, Cummins. Great tackling, Tomlinson and Pennant. The teenager had nowhere to go.
Well, it's a real mess, Eddie, these play the balls. Players are all over the top. They're pushing, shoving. There's only one way the referee's going to get control, and that's blow the whistle.
Well, he's allowing a lot of latitude as these players try and get to their feet. Look at this. Lowe's finds Schofield. Ayres again the runner. Another great tackle, Dave Evans. Schofield in a dummy half. Harvey Howard. Evans gets him round the ankle, but he unloads the pass to Ayres. Ayres is then ankle tapped before the tackle's complete by Tomlinson and Turner. Lowe's, who seems to have put a bit of weight on. Crossfield kick from Holroyd. That's a little tempter. Tate is under it. If he'd have took that cleanly, it would have been try time. I think he ran from an onside position.
Superb move. It was a beautiful pick by Graham Holroyd. The left foot right across the face. It nearly came off. Tate got fingertips to it. It's a planned move. They must watch that, Doncaster.
And he was onside. The referee didn't rule the penalty. So had Tate caught that and fell over, he would have scored the 4 points. 10 minutes gone, 0-0. Just rattling atmosphere. And quite a match taking place on the field. Miller with that little run could go nowhere. Mercer was there. And so too was Assini for Milo.
These players are niggling. They're talking to each other every tackle, every opportunity. It's getting warmer by the second. Will it boil over?
Penalty against Richie Ayres. Matuatia trying to get to his feet, and Ayres simply wouldn't let him. Had about 2 shots at him.
Was only a matter of time, wasn't it? Hasn't been the first culprit there. Milking it all it's worth. And there's another one.
Someone said something to Ollerton about the decision, and he's been walked back 10 metres.
Well, this is just what Doncaster wanted, to really upset the apple cart, get them riled. That's 2 silly penalties, in fact 3 silly penalties now. 1 for dissent, 2 for foul play, allowed Doncaster off the rack.
Wackaroo with the run for Doncaster, who've got to go back 3 years to the last time they won 3 in a row at the start of the season. That was in their 3rd division days. My word, how times have changed for this little club. Prop forward Matuatia with nowhere to go. Jamie Bloom taking law into his own hands, ducking under 1 challenge from Lowe's, but can't get away from Iro. This is Alex Green, now Turner. Green takes over again. The runner was Wackaroo. Releases the ball, it was silly. He should have taken the tackle. It wasn't the last one. Leeds have it back with Onta.
Got overexcited, did the hooker Wackaroo. Should have gone to ground with that. Oh, what a hit!
Leave it!
Matuatia really gave the shoulder then.
Here's Harvey Howard. The tackling is good, though, from this Doncaster side. Leeds, this team of all talents. Here's the Great Britain coach, Ellery Hanley. Good run from him. But look at Doncaster, the way they swarm round the Leeds man in possession.
They got to go low on Ellery Hanley. He's so strong. The upper body works out on the weight all the time.
And the pass to Onta from Mercer was a good one. That hit a Doncaster hand. It'll be 6 to go, will it? Well, I don't know what the referee has ruled here, because for me that came off a Doncaster hand, but he's saying it was Schofield who got the touch.
Well, Antar really shouldn't have got the ball away. Schofield perhaps deemed to have a fingertip to it.
It's definitely off Doncaster for me.
I thought that should have been play on.
Mind you, of course, if Schofield did touch it after the Doncaster player, then it was a knock-on. That's what the referees ruled.
There was a headbutt went in there.
Jamie Bloom is all wound up for this, and the referee says it was the use of the elbow.
It wasn't the elbow. The South African used the head. As he pulls him down, you'll see the head go forward. A little bit further on, there it is, quite clear. He'd be happy with his own hairstyle, is Gary Mercy. He doesn't want that one.
South African Jamie Bloom missed just 4 of 38 last season. This is his 50th career match, and he could do without punctuating it with incidents like that. Here's for Milo.
Especially when you're in possession of the football.
James Lowes, there's a Doncaster player down hurt as Howard goes on this run. It's Wayne Jackson. Hanley picks it up. Surrounded again by the Doncaster players. The tackle completed standing up. Onta to Schofield, to Innes. Now Richie Ayres. Alex Green clutching at him, the ball to nowhere again, and Rocky Turner doing well, picking up the pieces.
Well, you could see Craig Innes just look at Richie Ayres, say, what on earth did you try to get that ball away for? There was so much heavy traffic. Both sides panicking somewhat. Not surprisingly, this has been an electric start.
Good tackling from Innes, handling errors. 3-2 to Leeds, 0-0 on the scoreboard though, and there's another one. A handling error by the second row Lingard. Leeds have got the possession back with Schofield.
Well, he thought he was a dummy runner. He wasn't keeping his eye on the football. He paid the price.
Lingard getting back into a defensive position as Leeds continue this attack with Onta. Onta saw a little gap, thought about passing it out wide, and then decided that discretion was the better part of valour. Here's Lowes, James Lowes. Lingard, the man tackling round the ankle. That's how close Leeds are. They're inside the 10. The runner is Tate. Alan Tate still holds on, despite the fact that Innes was screaming for the ball inside. Onta. Hanley. Hanley stands, releases the pass to Lowes. Jackson recovered from the bang earlier, and he's doing that tackle. Here's Schofield, out wide. That's great tackling.
That's on the last tackle. What excitement there. It was a great tackle by Audley Pennant. Schofield was thinking about throwing the dummy, but look at that super tackle. Copybook stuff.
Carlisle was the dummy half. This is Wayne Jackson. Signed just before the witness match last Friday. £40,000, sign of the new times here at Tattersfield. Tony Miller trying to get to his feet, does so, eventually finds Turner, then he spreads the play to Carlisle, who copped a fairly high one from Innes, but they can't bring the little fella down. There's a gap opened up for Alex Green, the chip over the top for Dave Evans to chase. Tate is funneling back, it's a narrowing goal here, and the ball runs dead. But what a super little run from Alex Green.
Well, it just wouldn't put him down, would he? The standoff, Green just kept going and going. A little bit too long there, much to the relief of the winger, Alan Tate. He did the right thing coming back, but they are growing in confidence, this Doncaster side.
Mercer finds Lowes, now it's with Schofield. He misses out Ira rather than finds Innes. Innes skips through the tackles. This is Cummins, who has got some pace. They're up in numbers. Iro's one of them. Over the top to Hanley, but he's been brought back for a forward pass. No try. Hanley cannot believe it. It was a scintillating Leeds attack, but the pass was forward here.
Super play by the youngster Francis Cummins, brought the ball back inside. Kevin Iro, the big Kiwi, he pushed Ellery out of the way. You go out wide. Pretty hard to decide from that angle. You'll see more clearly on the high shot. Well, I've seen them give him that 50-50 lady luck going to Doncaster, but there was never any doubt with Ian Ollerton, the referee. He was quick to go to the whistle, and that is a high tackle.
I think it was the use of the right hook from Hanley while Green was on the floor, because Green here ducks under that challenge.
Watch Hanley drop with the elbows. Yeah. Don't have to be stood up to give a high tackle, anything above the shoulders.
Jackson with this run. Carlisle was up in support with him. He thought better though and held on to the football. And Leeds are offside.
Richie Ayres was a mile offside. Referee Ollerton just took one look. Richie Ayres making no attempt. There you can see him, number 12. Shouts to the referee, "You're kidding." Ollerton says, "I'm not." Doncaster with a chance to take the lead. The first score of the game. And I'm telling you, Eddie, this Leeds forward pack, they are rattled.
Just over 19 minutes then, here at Fortress Tattersfield. They lost to Swinton last November and have lost just 2 of 22 in the league since. And their last league defeat here was 11 months ago against Keighley by 20 points to 30. Alex Green then, with the chance to get the first points of the afternoon. Bang in front, that's the distance he has. 35 metres. No, it's not the best. He won't want to see that again.
Thankfully for the little standoff, it did go dead in goal. It'll be the dropout. Nerves aplenty. And why not? Capacity crowd here at Tattersfield. Nerves jingling on all the players. It's going to be a tough one. It's boiling.
Sure is, and it will boil further with Bloom. Good tackle though from Howard this time. The Milo is there, so too was Lowe's. Carlisle to Wackaroo.
Once again, good play by Doncaster. They keep changing the dummy half. The hooker, Sonny Wackaroo, standing first man sometimes, trying to confuse the defence.
And that ball was stolen. No, it wasn't. The referee had a look at the touch judge, who said it's a knock on. Now then.
Well, Jackson trying to get up there. Was it taken out by Patrick Ontar's head? Either way, touch judge having nothing of it, said he'd lost it. Gee, there's some niggling going on in these tackles.
Cummins with the run. It was halted by Alex Green. Ontar to Innes. Dave Evans there. So too Turner and Tony Miller. You have to take your hat off to this Doncaster team, the way they are tackling, just as they did against Widnes last Friday on our live big league match. Howard.
That's better from the Leeds forwards. They've got to start coming with a little bit more venom.
Here's Schofield. Oh, good tackling again. That's the 5th. Almost cut Schofield in half then.
Jackson really putting a big hit on the ribs of Schofield.
High hanging kick again from Holroyd. Underneath it, Bloom. A man not short of confidence. Watch this. Bounces off the Great Britain captain Schofield, and it's only Harvey Howard who's there to bring him down. Doncaster enjoying the better of things in the opening quarter of this match.
Well,
how many times have we said a kick is as only good as your chasers, and quite frankly, Leeds had nobody chasing downfield.
That's good work from Lowe's. Carlisle didn't have a chance then to get the pass away. Miller finds Turner. Turner, good kick. That will just push Leeds back towards their own line.
Calming things down, the experience there of Rocky Turner. Picked his spot to perfection. And the way that this Doncaster side is tackling, they'll be quite confident that they can keep Leeds within their own quarter. Maybe force the error.
Alan Tate with a strong run. Schofield finds Iro, as working to know this fellow is dangerous. Good tackling though on him by Dave Evans.
Did the right thing, did Evans. He went with him, and that's the error that they wanted. The nerves are jangling. The crowd are going crackers. You could see that Entar, the French international, was more intent of getting the ball out wide. Lost control, lost the marbles. Listen to the crowd.
Referee shouts held, but how on earth he can be heard over all the din inside Tattersfield, the Lord alone knows. Turner finds Green. Evans back to Green, to Bloom, who got away from that cruncher from Iro. Oh, and then took on Harvey Howard. Jamie Bloom felt all of that, I can tell you.
Was that a brick wall or what? The South African just came to a halt. There wasn't just one red light, all of them went on.
Jackson with the drive, Doncaster in the Leeds 20.
Jamie Bloom down, receiving attention in the background, and not surprisingly.
This is Audley Pennant trying to get away from Craig Innes. That's the last tackle for Doncaster. Miller the dummy half, Turner, a drop goal attempt, and it was all along the ground. It bounces back off the post though, and it was a good job that Holroyd was alert to that, because Dave Evans Mark Roach was sniffing for it.
Couldn't believe it, could he? The fullback Graham Holroyd, the youngster, thought, geez, let's get into it. Not the best attempt for the one-pointer. Hardly lifted more than 2 inches.
Schofield finds Iro. Iro halted briefly by Tennant. This is Lowe's, by Pennant rather, this is Lowe's. There's a lot of talking going on in the tackling, as Steve-O has been saying all afternoon.
Not only that, but the hooker, James Lowe's, he played the ball and then threw a sharp right. This is going to go right over the top.
Ayres releases the ball well to Hanley. He finds Mercer, who finds Tate. That was forward to Iro. Play on, says the referee. Last tackle for Leeds.
Good defence though is the prop forward, Wayne Jackson. Probably having a bit of a rest on the blind side, but what a great tackle.
Long pass from Schofield. Evans got a hand to it. Leeds will have it back. It'll be 6 to go. Lowe's, Innes. Big chance here for Leeds. Well, there was, until Innes dropped it.
Well, another forced error there from Craig Innes. That's a long ball there. He really didn't commit himself too fully, did Dave Evans. Either way, Doncaster have got possession.
Matt Tuatia ducking under the challenge from Mercer and Ayres. Carlisle, Turner. Turner just clips it early in the tackle count downfield to make the ground and gets it midway down the Leeds half of the field.
Good thinking. Early in the tackle count, as Eddie said, no one at home. It's usually only on the last tackle, or maybe the one before, that the wingers decide to drop back.
That was on the 3rd, and it means that Leeds will have head and feed at this scrum. Meanwhile, they have made a change, Leeds. George Mann has come on, number 14, and Harvey Howard has gone off. Prop for Leeds. And apparently, in the opening weeks of the season, George Mann has been coming off the bench and has been having absolute blinders for Leeds. Here he is, all wrapped up by Pennant though. Great tackle.
Not only that, there's the elbow in, the touch judge has come on. Now, silly play by George Mann. It was a good tackle by Audley Pennant. He should have just got up and played the ball, but watch the elbow. 1, 2, he'll give him another one. It doesn't take much, but it's stupid play. It's no cause for it. It would hardly have felt anything more than a mosquito on Audley Pennant's face.
George Mann claiming he was held down by Pennant. Touch judge and referee have none of it. Doncaster then. with a chance. Tomlinson high by Mann. He's only touched the ball twice, and Mann is walking a very thin tightrope here.
He's told him, anything more you've got. But what's wrong with the sin bin? Get him to the sin bin, give him 10. There should be no caution. He's already been warned 20 seconds before for using foul play. Okay, there was no harm with it, but there was plenty of intent and harm in that. Doesn't he have a card in his back pocket? Come on, Mr. Ollerton. Get the yellow one out at least.
There are many people who say that George Mann should have walked for that. I thought a high tackle was an automatic sending off offence. Anything above the shoulders, and that certainly was. As I say, George Mann walking the tightrope. Carlisle. Good play from the little scrum half. So close now, Doncaster. Here's Jackson. He gets the ball away to Green. Desperate defence now from Leeds. Carlisle again. Here's the big man, Matuatia. Approaching the half-hour mark. What Doncaster would give for the try. The ball's gone to ground. Green is there to pick the pieces. Little dancing run from Green. It's the last tackle. They're bang in front of the sticks. All this pressure. I wonder whether they'll go for one. Carlisle fancied it. It bounced off the Leeds player. And it's play on. Right on the Leeds try line.
Well, not the best option from the dummy half. There was plenty of traffic there, but at least they've got Leeds on it. Look at that. It should have gone out wide, giving himself plenty more time. But Leeds are in a hole, and it's going to take a lot to dig them out of it.
0-0 on the scoreboard, but what a dramatic opening half hour we've seen. There's been nothing sterile about this. Long ball from Schofield to Innes. Mercer's there, so too is Tate. Iro's off on a run, snapping away at the tacklers. Schofield's there! Has Schofield the pace to go round Bloom? Tate is there, Alta, brilliant, brilliant try Leeds. Fantastic try, created by Iro and Schofield and scored by the little Frenchman. What a try, one of the best.
I don't know how much they pay this man, Kevin Iro, but the Beast received a long ball from Schofield. Schofield finds it very difficult to pass on the right-hand side. That's why he's turned around so he could pass with the left. But look at the strength of Iro. He puts on, and Tate is in support, and that is great support play. The Frenchman, Patrick Ontar. But look at the Beast, in and out. Poor old Audley Pennant couldn't match it. Handoff there. Keeps his cool, swaps the ball around, tries to confuse Jamie Bloom. Support, Schofield, Tate, come on the Frenchman.
Fabulous try by Onta. Graham Holroyd now with the opportunity to add the extra two. And he kicks it. Holroyd's 12th successful goal kick of the season, and Leeds have the lead 6-0.
Doncaster defence, you can see he's hanging back. The ball out wide, that's all it needs. And the rest to the Beast. See how Pennant is just hanging back. He didn't force Iro into any pressure. The little step in and out, but what strength from the Kiwi international Kevin Iro.
Turner restarts, Hanley will run it back again, and they fancy taking them on down that right-hand side. Pennant was there this time to complete the tackle on Hanley. There's Onta, and now Mercer. The ball to Iro, quickly on to Innes, forward pass to Cummins, but play on.
Good thinking by the youngster Cummins, made sure he went back on the inside. There's been a collision. One of the Doncaster players is down.
It's Wayne Jackson. He's clutching the knee.
He collided. I think the head came across from Cummins. It was an accident.
Milo is wrestled to the floor.
He looks as though he's gone, Wayne Jackson.
He has. The signal has gone to the bench that Jackson will play no further part in this. And that is a terrible blow. Meanwhile, Tate dabs the ball along the line. Oh! Oh dear! Tate collided
right with the
corner post there, the concrete.
Oh dearie me.
Bloom comes across here.
Oh, this is tragic. You could see that Bloom would make no attempt to get it, and he collides to the back of the head. Oh, that has to be padded from here on in. Too late for Tate, though. But you could see that the South African made no attempt to go for the football. He just put his body into it, into Alan Tate. And that should be a penalty in my book. You have to play the ball, not the man.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, the stretcher's coming on for Wayne Jackson, who went down immediately clutching his knee. And it's that knee there.
Well, it looks as though he's twisted it. Maybe the impact of the ground, but let's hope that he's okay. And also Alan Tate. Two players receiving treatment, both in pain. One's on the stretcher. Thankfully, Alan Tate gets to his feet.
Wayne Jackson, it's a bitter pill for Doncaster. He is taken off on a stretcher. Alan Tate, thankfully, is on his feet, but he too has gone into the dressing rooms for treatment after colliding with that pillar on the crush barrier over on that far side. As Steve-O says, it will have to be padded from here on in. That's the second time in our two visits here we've seen a player been bundled into those advertising hoardings, and worse, on that far side. It's a very, very tight ground, this.
Let's hope that Alan Tate's okay. There's nothing worse than a holding down there by George Mann. That's relief for Doncaster, and boy oh boy, they need it.
The Leeds change, by the way, with Harmon coming on, is a blood bin, but it's not a blood bin for Wayne Jackson. Ian Fletcher comes on for him. And that's terrible for Doncaster. They paid a record fee for the club of £40,000. And when a knee goes like that, anything could happen. Mind you, it's pretty grim for Alan Tate as well. It was one heck of a collision with the concrete. Let's hope he's all right as well. Green just delayed the pass and Pennant picked up the pieces.
They got away with it, the second phase of attack from Audley Pennant. But it surprised me, Eddie, that nothing was said to Jamie Bloom. He made no attempt to go for that football, he went for the man.
Here's Wackaroo. That was Fletcher making the pass, and this is Rocky Turner making the run. Good tackling by Schofield. Green. Over on the far side is Tomlinson. So too is Evans. So too is Cummins. That is play on. And what's more, 6 to go here for Doncaster. 10 metres short of the line. Green. This Leeds defence, that so often last season was at 6s and 7s, faces a stern examination here now.
That should be back to 6. That came off a Leeds arm.
It is. Carlisle dummy half. Turner. Matt to Atia. Can't get away from George Mann. That's another 6. That was a Leeds boot that hacked that. And this is Bloom. The referee's not signalled the tackle count back to 0.
Well, that's surprising. It was quite obvious that Ellery Hanley booted that ball through.
Here's the fullback. Bloom again. That is the last tackle. It's now with Turner. Here's Alex Green. Green over the top. Straight into the arms of Cummins.
Ready well, the youngster, didn't he? Knew his position well, came in tight off the wing. It's all about helping, and he certainly did it well then. It's important now that Doncaster really get into the defensive pattern. Remember, they were stripped clean with that long ball within their own quarter by Schofield. They can't allow it to happen again.
That was Neil Harmon's first run. Here's for Milo. The ball's come free. It's a knock-on. Wasn't stolen.
Oh, I'm not so sure that it wasn't that helped by Tony Miller. I'm sure he will agree with me. SNA for Milo.
Turner tries to dart away from the base of the scrum. Doncaster ending this first half on the attack. Fletcher. Here's Matavatia. Turner. Thought a second time about the long pass. Gave it instead to Fletcher. Not the best take from Fletcher.
The dummy was all right there from Rocky Turner, but I'm afraid there was no support player coming on second phase.
Here's Wakaru. Sonny Wakaru over the top looking for Tomlinson. He only found Francis Cummins. We're in stoppage time now. There'll be a bit of this. That's high from Carlisle on this.
It sure was, right in front of the touch judge. Surely that's a penalty. It's got to be. All through this first half, niggling, pushing, shoving, bit of sledging, plenty of words being said. Look at that, elbows, pushing.
9-3 on the penalty count to Doncaster. 6-0 to Leeds on the scoreboard. Harmon with this marauding run. Leeds looking to end this first half on a flourish with another try now. Onta, scorer of the one they've got, finds for Milo. They're midway inside the Doncaster half. Lowe's is the dummy half. Schofield is there. Taking on Wakaru. Getting the pass away. Hanley tries to continue the move. It's 6 to go. It touched the Doncaster arm.
Desperation now in defence for Doncaster. Leeds surely will opt for the big forwards and then go for the kick.
Here's Lowe's. Lowe's, well, that was silly play. He was grounded almost when he released the ball. Pennant isn't hanging round to debate it.
Well, what on earth was James Lowe's thinking of? He was virtually tackled when he released it, but a good run by Audley Pennant. George Mann penalised, using the foot across, moving from in front of the play the ball, not allowing that man, Audley Pennant, to get up and play the ball clearly. See him put the step across, couldn't do anything about it. Audley was working full time. Academy Award perhaps.
So 2 minutes of stoppage time gone. Here come Doncaster again. This time it's Lingard. There's the siren. A pulsating first 40 minutes here at Tattersfield. Iro with a magnificent run that created the first Leeds try, the only try. Jamie Bloom, who came across and dumped Alan Tate into the crowd almost and got him off the field. And Patrick Onta, who scored the Leeds try. A breathtaking first half here. Tate, before going off injured, playing his full part in this Leeds try that separates the two sides at half-time.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Leeds are ahead by 6 points to 0. Packed house here, and there's a reference to the documentary made in 1982 about this Doncaster club. And apparently last week I said it poked fun at the club. We've had a letter from the producer, Barry Cockcroft. He said that's completely untrue. Everyone connected with Doncaster appeared to be delighted with it, and he is absolutely delighted at Doncaster's amazing success recently, and that success is carrying on. Alan Tate, miraculously in our view, is back out for the start of this second half of this Stones bit of championship battle with nothing more than just a touch of concussion. Well, they build them big, they build them tough, and they build them strong in the big league. Leeds will be breathing a sigh of relief about that. Wayne Jackson, by the way, the news from the dressing room at half-time is that he's had 8 stitches in a knee injury, and he is on the bench and will be available second half if needed. It's Leeds who are in possession with George Mann. He finds Ellery Hanley. Hanley watched by Matuatia, and Turner was there. And there is Wayne Jackson with the knee heavily bandaged, obviously after those stitches have been inserted. This is Mercer, and he is Iro. Such a strength, such a talent. He finds Innes. Innes gets the ball out wide to Cummins. Cummins is going strong, still there, finds Hanley. Should the ball have gone the other way? Well, Cummins is having a discussion with the referee, and he has given Leeds the penalty because Hanley there tackled without the ball.
Never any doubt the Leeds skipper being dragged back. But a beautiful run from Francis Cummins. Ball out wide. Leeds realise that if there's going to be any gaps in the strong Doncaster outfit, it's going to be out wide. And when you've got a man like Kevin Iro and Craig Innes in this beautiful play, run at the angle, brought in Francis Cummins. A real good talent. They've certainly got plenty of talent at Leeds, but they're struggling against Doncaster. Look at the big man beast go through. If you don't go low, got one of the best fens in the Rugby League. But look how Innes goes across, brings back inside. Perfect timing from Cummins there. Young talent, a star of the future. And that's the reason why this penalty has been given.
Referee's just called time off for a moment because we were a little short of sand at Tattersfield for this penalty attempt by Graham Holroyd. I can't understand why, because there's been extensive building works going on here for the past 3 or 4 weeks. However, the sand is there now, and Holroyd taking aim with this penalty. Crowd doing its best to put him off, but Holroyd belies the fact that he's only 18, the under-21 international and academy tourist. His 13th goal of this season, 100 goals in his first season. Only 10 others in Leeds history have achieved 3 figures in a season. Holroyd with a place already in the Leeds record books.
That will help relieve the pressure for the Leeds coach, Doug Lawton, who I'm sure at half-time would have told his charges not to panic. Just play safety first. Late in the game, the gaps will come.
Kick-off downfield, Ontad picks it up, and here comes Cummins again. This time he's wrapped up by Wakaru and Glinlingar. Lowe's, dummy half, Mercer. Nowhere for Innes to go. Tackled by Audley Pennant, taking an eternity to get off him. Referee Ian Ollerton, Steve-O, has been really lenient with that rule about lying on today.
Well, that was the second attempt there. Rocky Turner missed the first time, came in with the second.
George Mann fumbles.
Won't be happy with that. You could see George Mann was stepping off the left foot, trying to avoid the would-be tackler. Once you lose the eyes of the football, that's what can happen.
I said earlier on when he came on that he had been coming on off the bench and blasting the opposition so far this season.
Okay, Castle,
You won't find it easy against this Doncaster outfit.
I think they should have kept quiet. Miller now with the run for Doncaster.
One with the first time this season you put the mocker on somebody.
Or the last. Green. Matuatia with a strong run. And Matuatia got a clout on the head of Alex Green's knee as he came in looking for the short pass.
You can see Green there, the knee just colliding there with the prop forward. Dear me, if it isn't tough enough without your own players coming in and giving you a good whack, probably wouldn't have done much good for Alex Green's knee either. But he's a tough character. Prop forward Vila Matuatia. Plenty of talent. Crunch time. Oh, dearie me.
Well, he's flat out, isn't he? So there's been quite a few players down and receiving treatment during this game.
In fact, I'm surprised that there have not been more. It has been a torrid affair. But he's a tough cookie, this fella. He'll play the ball. Breathe in for a couple of moments. You can see Ian Ollerton saying, just take it steady.
Not the best pass in the world, but Doncaster have it back. That's important for them. Tony Fisher, the Doncaster coach, a former Leeds player. He lost in successive Challenge Cup finals, but he won the last title with Leeds that they picked up, 1972.
Well, not the best pass from the substitute Ian Fletcher. It was never on. Try to get the ball back on the inside. Bad mistake there.
Too many handling errors for Tony Fisher and Doug Lawton to ponder. And Schofield buried. Can Doncaster keep up this pace? On tap from Lowe's. Forward screened all the Doncaster crowd.
Good defence from Doncaster. They're moving up quickly, forcing Leeds into one-out football.
Holroyd's deep kick downfield. It goes sailing over the head of Tomlinson and finds touch. That's a great kick from the young fullback.
Super kick under pressure, wasn't it? Excellent kick. Great talent, great left foot. Oh.
Don't forget, we've got all the highlights for you coming up of the other tries in Division 1 scored today, following this match here at Tattersfield. Every try in the Stones Bidder Championship First Division. You'll see them all after this match. Meanwhile, you will watch here as the Great Britain coach is penalised. Who, me?
Well, the crowd went berserk. It is a surprise. Ellery Hanley getting involved, making it awkward for a player to actually play the football. I don't believe it. Wonders never cease.
Well, Leeds ahead by 8 points to 0. 8 minutes of this second half gone. Warming up nicely then for the big challenge next Friday night. Wigan against Leeds. One of the occasions of the season. We're live and exclusive from Central Park next Friday night. Don't miss that one. Wigan in this sort of form, and rather Leeds in this sort of form, and Wigan, if they can maintain their 100% record today, it will be a battle royal. Meanwhile, Patrick Ontap just had a little facial job to do on Sonny Wakaru here.
Well, you can see Wakaru didn't like it. I know his English isn't all that good, but he doesn't have to resort to Braille. Touch judge very quick to come in.
So a penalty to Doncaster. It's their 12th, and Leeds have had only 4. Here's Fletcher taking on Lowe's and Familo. Not something you do with a faint heart, that. Lingard, oh, dropped it, but the ball went backwards. It's play on. Turner back into all the heavy traffic.
Good defence by Leeds, though. They really are scurrying back.
Fletcher. Doncaster need to make some of this pressure tell with a try. Miller. Evans. The defence of Leeds, Steve-O, has certainly been tightened this season.
Especially in the second half, they're working for each other.
Last tackle here for Doncaster. Wackaroo, Mataratia drops it, Onta picks up the pieces. They get so near, and yet they are so far, Dons.
Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He took a pretty bad knock a couple of minutes before. The marbles perhaps wouldn't have settled. Comes back on the inside there. Never really took full control. Bad mistake.
Here's Onta, now Schofield. Long ball from Schofield to Tate. His first touch, second half, and still brave enough to go down the touchline. Oh, Alan Tate steaming in! That's a great try! Just before half-time, Tate was flat out with concussion. Now he had all the courage to go down the wing and find the corner.
Once again, it was a long ball from Gary Schofield. Has problems passing that way, so he turns, and Tate just did a little shimmy on the inside, and off he went. It was a superb run, pinned the ears back. Nothing was going to stop him. There was no chance that the South African, Jamie Bloom, could get anywhere near. Long ball. Schofield, he has trouble passing with the right side, switches to the left. Little shimmy was enough. Hesitation. There's no chance. Jamie Bloom, see you later. Great try.
Alan Tate for the first time on the wing for Leeds, but he is certainly no stranger to the position. He played it during his rugby union days for Scotland B. Holroyd then, 2 from 2. This is the most difficult. Just fades short of the post. 12-0 though. Leeds have perhaps a critical advantage.
You can see the Doncaster winger Roach coming very, very tight. Long ball from Schofield is all that it takes. The little shimmy now, there it is. You can see Roach hesitate. The split second, it was enough. The legs pump, the dive, great try.
Gary Schofield created it. Gary Schofield OBE, of course, and Alan Tate scored it. Bravely as well, bearing in mind what happened in the first half over there in that corner.
Well, that was a real mix-up from the kick-off by the fullback Graham Holroyd, the halfback Patrick Onta. Lack of communication allowing that ball to bounce. But it's interesting to note that both tries have come from that long ball from Gary Schofield. Just shows you how tight this Doncaster defence is in the forwards.
Cummins, electrifying run. Francis Cummins, the support arrived from Tate again. Pennant this time though brings him down. Right on the halfway line. Lowe's to Onta. Onta on a run. Not a bad bit of business. Onta, £4,000, but not a great pass. Doncaster can counter-attack with Carlisle. He's tracked down by Mercer. Mataratia.
Good tackle there from George Mann. He ran at the angle in defence very quickly.
Green, the ball was to Lingard. Lingard straightened it up and took them on. Hanley and Schofield, who's pulled off by the Great Britain captain. That's a lovely ball round the corner from Green. Fletcher read it well.
Nice play from the standoff Green. But I've get the feeling that Doncaster finding it difficult to get through this Leeds defence, and that's a bad mistake. Maybe it's time to substitute Vila Mataratia. He doesn't look all there, does he? Wasn't the best pass. He tried to take it on the half volley. And when you haven't got a clear mind...
Since he took that bang on the head, Mataratia, Steve-O, hasn't looked the same.
Well, maybe it's time to, perhaps for their coach, Tony Fisher, to make the substitution.
He's made one. Roach goes off and John Ellis comes on, and Leeds have made the change to Neil Harmon. Comes on for Sini for Milo. So both coaches, both wily old foxes in their own right, Doug Lawton and Tony Fisher, making the changes. Here's Harmon. Came on as a blood bin substitution in the first half for Alan Tate. And he was running strongly then. Now he's got the chance to really stamp his authority on this game.
Well, it's obviously Dougie Lawton happy with things now. The forwards are running a little bit with more purpose. But Doncaster, oh, Gary Schofield, high off the ball. Oh, I thought about it, decided against it. Common sense prevails. Tries to take it. Sonny Wakarui, the hooker was there.
Yeah, Schofield just cocked the gun and then had second thoughts, didn't he? That's obstruction. Jamie Bloom using one of his players as a guard, no doubt.
Little doubt about it. He used John Ellis to substitute. Kevin Iro didn't have a clean run at the man. Just losing the composure a little bit, Jamie Bloom. Done that a couple of times in the first half, got away with it. Getting back to Tony Fisher, he's obviously brought off Mark Roach because of the fact that he missed Alan Tate when they scored that try.
It's Leeds in possession then with Harmon. Whoa, that was high from Wakaroo on Harmon. Takes 4 to bring him down. Neil Harmon, former under-21 international. Man, back to Schofield. Schofield finds Mercer. Mercer throws it to no one. The feet went in from Onta as Wakaroo went for it. Not the best pass. And what a great tackle from Green. Leeds got away with it. Innes straight into the back of his skipper, Hanley. They're playing on Leeds with man. Here's Hanley. Now Onta. Oh, that was high. Turner with the high challenge on Onta.
The little Frenchman ducked underneath, but he didn't duck enough. Rocky Turner put all the power in that. Luckily for him, flat of the hand was not a clenched fist. Right in front of the referee, Ian Ollerton. He knows he's done wrong.
And he knows it might be 2 points conceded here with that penalty. I notice also in the background that Matuatir is receiving treatment. He's still obviously feeling that crack on the head he got. Now, are Leeds going to kick for goal here? They most certainly are. Hanley's had a word with referee Ollerton, and from bang in front, Leeds will take the 2 here if they possibly can.
Of course, it's pretty difficult for the Doncaster coach Tony Fisher with the fact that Wayne Jackson, of course, on the bench with a bad knee injury, realizes that some of his players struggling to get out there. Vila Matuatia is one of them.
Yes, these are difficult moments for Tony Fisher. First time in the big league, really. He's found himself behind the 8 ball. Saints and Widnes beaten. This, without doubt, the most critical test against Leeds, who take the penalty and miss, courtesy of Holroyd. Well, no wonder he looks to the heavens, and he knows it wasn't the best penalty he's ever taken.
Well, I'm not so sure. I think Graham Holroyd thought that it was a fine kick. It looked to go well over the top of the post. Touch judges had a good look at it. They decided against it, turned it down.
Cummins then with the run, and Matuatia dumps him to the ground. Lowe's to George Mann. George Mann. Now he gives it to Cummins. Cummins long ball, Holroyd. Short pass, Tate. Pennant's there again.
Oh, there's play in the background. One of the players, Leeds players, was taken out without the football. It was Kevin Iro, I think.
The touch judge was on very, very quickly.
It really was crunch time, and I think it's the hooker, Sonny Wakaroo, who's the culprit. Now it's oh, dearie me, that is vicious. John Ellis it was. He just went with the elbow. Surely he's got to go for this. attacking the man's head with the elbow. Well, maybe that's a bit of a tit for tat when you think about it. George Mann, he was lucky, but look at this. That is dangerous. We can do without that in rugby league football. Not surprisingly, Ellis looks towards the touch judge.
Can Leeds make Doncaster pay? Richie Ayres. Dave Evans stuck to the task well. Mercer. Yes, he's a lucky boy, is John Ellis. He could so easily have walked for that. Onta. Schofield. Innes. Still Innes. Now it's Hanley. Hanley has the strength, but so too did Doncaster. They nearly snapped the Leeds captain in half.
Beautiful low tackle from Audley Pennant, and the strength of the South African Jamie Blow. Ellery Hanley thought 4 points was his with ease, and then crunch time. The Springbok came in a big one.
Hanley certainly felt that, but that was perfectly legal. We saw two sides then of the big league. And that was the happier side, I must say. There's been much to admire in this match.
Good run there from Tony Miller. Full credit to this Doncaster side. They are not throwing in the towel.
And it has remained a very short 10 at the play the ball, policed by Mr. Ollerton. That's better. This time it's right. The tackle before that, it was 7 or 8 maximum.
But if anyone doubted that rugby league professionals aren't fit, all they have to do is watch this. These guys are running themselves into the ground.
Alex Green's kick downfield is found by Holroyd. Stealing the ball in the tackle. Gary Mercer wanted to get on with it quickly.
Little doubt there. Alex Green, the culprit, left arm involved. They wanted to get on with it. Mercer was all pumped up. Alan Tate ran to him, said, calm it down. We're the side that's in front. Good tactics.
Mercer, ball out wide to Cummins. He's inside Tomlinson. Cummins pins his ears back. Hanley's in support. Can Bloom stop him this time? Great play by Bloom. That was tremendous from the South African fullback. It was a try all the way. Leeds still haven't finished. Holroyd. Long looping pass to Mann. Quick hands to Iro. Iro, tackle from behind, gets the ball away. Cummins with the try. From one side of the field to the other. Doncaster thought they'd closed the door on Hanley. They left it ajar for Cummins.
You can't ask for better football than this. Champagne run from Francis Cummins. But was the big champagne bottle going to explode? Here he comes. Bloom says, you're mine. Helped by that man, John Ellis. But from this, the quick play of the ball, the link out wide. He was a beautiful, neat pass from George Mann. Look at this. Draws the man. Iro steps inside. The strength, ball round. The man who started it with a wonderful run deserves the 4 points. It's been a good game for Francis Cummins.
Cummins with the try then. Remember, he's the youngest ever Wembley finalist now. And remember that length of the field try he scored at Wembley last season against Wigan. Graham Holroyd then. The teenage connection here for Leeds. Cummins, 17. Holroyd, 18. Holroyd with a conversion attempt, and it is missed again. 16-0. Leeds ahead.
You're watching Sky.
This is a different Leeds than we've seen in the recent past, Steve-O.
James Lowes has gone down. I think the hamstring has snapped or something drastic. He clutched for the leg, the left leg. He is in awful pain while the game goes on.
He's only just back after hamstring trouble, Lowe's, and someone's in the bin. Onta goes to the bin. Well, there's been so much on here all afternoon, and Onta has gone, I can only assume, for a professional foul.
Well, he's all over him, isn't he? Then he tries to just, perhaps a little bit of a headbutt. One thing's for sure, that's nice to know that Ian Ollerton has got 2 cards in his pocket. Presuming, of course, he's got a red one with it.
Well, he's definitely got the yellow one, and Onta knows that.
And that looked a pretty high one from Harvey Howard.
Green. Oh, over the top. Bloom. James Bloom. Jamie Bloom still. Support arrives. Oh, Pennant puts it down. Keeps the movement going, though. Evans to Ellis. Ball inside to Roach. Iro. And also Tate and Hanley. You cannot fault this Doncaster side for their determination. Pennant. There's a hole for Pennant. And he's through it. A big gap in that Leeds defence. And Audley Pennant exploits it. On his 290th appearance for Doncaster, Pennant gets the try that gives Doncaster hope.
We said they would not throw the towel in, and they haven't. Beautiful little dummy here. You can see Gary Schofield went far too out wide to go for the intercept. The dive from Audley Pennant, who's had a fine game in attack and defence. It was a good run previous to this from Mark Roach, and he will enjoy that. The Leeds coach, Doug Lawton, won't. It was awful defence. I'm sure words will be said to Gary Schofield for going for the intercept. Okay, the game is over as far as Leeds is concerned, but have we enough time for Doncaster to come back?
Green with the conversion, 6 for Doncaster, 16 for Leeds.
There's Schofield, he's gone for the intercept. It's wide, isn't it? It's all over, and a Pennant will go through the gap. Gary won't like that. Neither will his coach.
Bill Were, low flying Audley Pennant. He dived over that line. And 10 points the gap. Leeds reduced to 12 men with Onta in the sin bin. Have Doncaster got time to come back? Bloom. He's a real roughhouse, isn't he? Jamie Bloom. He was involved in the move that led up to that try.
This is going to get really bad. The touch judge is down. They're all in.
They're all involved.
Keep the crowd over the fence, please. They're losing their cool. It's been bubbling all the game. Now the touch judge is down again.
Absolute pandemonium at Tattersfield. Touch judge hit the deck twice. This is a farce. There's the high tackle that brought the penalty, and wait to see the touch judge. Here he is. Crunch. Well, Steve-O's gone. But the referee and touch judges, and there's more of it coming in here now.
I wouldn't mind, but it goes again. He had 2, did the touch judge. Full credit for him. He'll have a right smile.
And the referee wants the skippers. Hanley of Leeds, Turner of Doncaster.
Amazing look on both of them, especially Ellery. Hanley, he came up to the referee and saying, does there appear to be a problem? Oh, it's getting somewhat rough. Well, it's been bubbling all the game, hasn't it?
But Steve O'Brien Ricks could have written the script for that last passage there. It was almost a Whitehall farce, it really was. Poor old touch judge. Down he went twice. There he is, though, back on his feet, doing the job. from man, but it's too late. Leeds all offside from that quick play the ball by Doncaster.
Well, we just saw George Mann not make any attempt but use his shoulder. Leeds better not just sit back and rest on their laurels. There's plenty of time for Doncaster to get well and truly back in this game.
Remember, Leeds down to 12 men. The gaps are appearing, but Harvey Howard and Richie Ayres are picking out Glyn Lingard there like exocets. Wakaru unloading the tackle to Carlisle. Turner takes on Schofield, finds Carlisle. Carlisle hits the deck. The referee blows the whistle though and says knock on.
He can't believe it, the little halfback Carlisle. It was a beautiful reversed inside pass from Rocket Turner. Just lost the attention at the vital moment. And a let-off for Leeds, I'll tell you. They are sucking in air.
Lowe's off and Ayres on just to confirm the substitution for Leeds. Lowe's going off, clutching the hamstring. 6 minutes to go, 10 points to gap. If Doncaster get another try now, well, this crowd has been noisy all afternoon. They could easily raise the roof. It's time for all the experience in Leeds to come to the fore. There's plenty of it out there. Hanley, certainly one of the most experienced.
Look at that tackling. Pennant in the second row and Tony Miller getting involved. They're not giving in, this Doncaster outfit.
Come on, say your bloody act out.
Harvey Howard with the chip over the top. Bloom picks it up. Space ahead of Bloom. Wrapped up by Schofield and Howard, who chased the kick, and the man who retrieved it.
Well, talk about losing your cool and losing the marbles. A prop forward, Harvey Howard, taking the ball and chipping it over, straight into the arms of Jamie Bloom. That's not what Leeds should have done. It should have gone to a regular kicker.
Fletcher. 5 minutes to go. 10 points the difference. Doncaster could easily pinch this. Turner. The call was there from Alex Green, and Carlisle picked it up. Wakaru wanted the ball passing to him. Now then, it's a knock-on, but Carlisle can't believe it.
Was it dragged out? Pretty hard to find there. Graham Holroyd and the arm in. Pretty difficult to see, isn't it? Either way, the referee has opted for the scrum. Carlisle not happy.
Cummins. Oh, clattered late by Turner. 21 handling errors.
Well, it's got to be safety first from Leeds now. Schofield in there controlling things. Surely it's one out football. Forwards take it up, opt for the big kick downfield.
Leeds winning the battle in terms of possession, winning the battle on the scoreboard too. 16 points to 6. Schofield kicks downfield over the top of Bloom. That's a good kick. That calms it all down, and it won't find touch. Bloom will have to run it out from his own line. Something he does willingly. He's got some heavy traffic to get through. Gets the ball away to Tomlinson. Iroh's after Tomlinson.
It's a good job that the centre Iroh was there. Tomlinson was getting into top gear.
Mark Roach now.
But full credit to the South African Jamie Bloom. He took the gamble. They realised that they're 10 points adrift.
Well, I can't believe the way that Leeds are standing so close to the play of the ball, but it's play on, and it's still play on. The referee says it's Leeds' habit. Here's Ayres. Now it's Holroyd. Holroyd striding for the corner. Bloom has got him again, measured up. The ball inside, but it's play on, is it? Referee looks at it and says no, it's a knock-on. But for me, that was play on. And for Alan Tate also, it was play on.
I agree with you. Alan Tate says he came off a Doncaster player, and it did. Holroyd sings the ball back inside.
There's the knock-on.
Well, it doesn't have to hit the ground these days. We take it all back. We were wrong, Alan was wrong, Ian Ollerton was right. The initial touch was by Tate, and he was going forward. He doesn't have to hit the ground these days.
Onta is waiting to return to the fray for the last 2 minutes, and here he comes. Doncaster have the possession from the scrum. Onta returns. Leeds might well maintain their 100% record. They will know they have been in a battle. Their away form last season was poor, 6 wins only. If they hang on here, they've got 2 already this season, admittedly against the 2 promoted clubs. But they will be 100% tonight if they hang on for the next minute and a half plus stoppages. Alex Green, oh, crunch time. Harvey Howard, a big hit.
Come to daddy. Oh. It's not over yet. There'll be plenty more hits. They lost the marbles. It's the last one. Tony Miller didn't realise.
Big league highlights after this match at Tattersfield. Every try scored in the Stones Bidder Championship Division 1. Stay with us. You've had action all the way. There's still more to come tonight. Mercer. Iro. Innis still. Strong defence.
What a game the centre, Audley Pennant, has had, both in attack and defence.
Onta. Ayres. Oh, had to duck under that challenge from Turner. Holroyd. Shaped a kick, then went through the gap.
Where's Schofield? Will he go for the 1 point?
Onta tried to slide the kick through. Fletcher picks it up for Doncaster.
Tense moments indeed. Onta tried a little grubber, but full credit to both sides. These players have run themselves to a standstill. What a great effort, what a great game.
A match that's had really, literally everything. We're in stoppage time. It looks like it's going to be Leeds, but Doncaster will keep on going. Driven forward by Turner, their captain.
You'd think it was the opening minutes, wouldn't you? Some of the venom in these tackles. Not much love lost between the 2 teams.
Roach trying to get away from those 2. Onta and Ayres. Last tackle here for Doncaster. They're still in their own half. Pennant has decided to try and run it. And he gets the ball away to Green. Green will just clip it downfield. Tate is now playing at full back.
Let him up!
George Mann. Get out of the way, Alex Green. He's got Schofield.
Great run by the New Zealander, George Mann. He used the referee to perfection.
Hanley to Onta. Onta, probably the smallest man on the field, enveloped. Mercer now, dink over the top from Mercer. Roach picks it up and then is bundled into touch.
Good work by the 2 New Zealanders, Iro and Mercer. Nothing that Roach could do about it. It was a neat little chip over. He's worked hard, Mercer, but they've had to. This has really been a tough game.
Leeds keeping it going towards the end. Schofield darting for the corner, and Schofield will score. No, he doesn't score. He was bouncing on his back as he went over the line.
Good play by Jamie Blome again. That is no try. That is superb fullback play. the South African has brought up some spectacular defensive efforts. And that should be a penalty. You could see Ollerton screaming. There's Blom down injured, but Ollerton was saying held, and then they allowed him to go to it. Swinging arm.
3 minutes of stoppage time played. Hanley's foot, it'll be back to 0 on the tackle count. There's the full-time siren. The end of a truly pulsating affair. Leeds victory. They maintain their 100% record. Alan Tate clattered in the first half, scored a vital try in the second. Mark Roach on and off and took full part in this match, and Francis Cummins also. Little Patrick Onta, Sinbind and Doncaster thought that the match was theirs for the taking, but it was this try from Alan Tate that eventually broke the Doncaster resistance, and Leeds, their record stays intact. The result here then at Tattersfield, Doncaster 6, Leeds 16, try for Doncaster from Pennant and the goal from Green, tries for Leeds from Onta, Tate, Cummins, Holroyd kicked 2 goals. A gutsy display then from Leeds, and no one more so than Alan Tate. Alan, first of all, a progress report on the head. I mean, it looked horrific from where we were sat.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd have to watch it, you know, in slow motion, but my arm was more worrying than my head. You know, I had to get a couple of stitches in my head, but actually I think I took most of the blow in my arm, which is a bit lucky. And looking down the field, I think it's the only pillar that isn't covered, so Doncaster might do something about it next week.
Well, Steve-O's called for that immediately, as soon as you hit it, but it looked as though it could have really been nasty.
Yeah, as I say, you know, I flew in it, but I seemed to take the biggest brunt on my arm. You know, that was the main worrying part when the doctor was talking. As I said, I think my arms, you know, that's the worst part. But my head's starting to bang a bit now.
It was brave, though, that try in the second half, where you hurtled down the wing again.
Yeah, Dougie will say it's paid off, put us on the wing, no doubt now. I just took off, yeah, as you say, and luckily I caught the wing off balance and then just opened the legs, and I've been training well this summer, and, you know, the speed paid off in the end.
I know you've been anxious to get into the Leeds side, but my word, they look a team, don't they?
Yeah, the forwards have made all the difference, you know, to our backs. We're getting the space to run because they're boxing off the middle. You know, George Mann's coming on, he's doing a great job, and then Assini's, you know, powering up with Harvey and Neil. And, you know, it's going to be hard to get a game in the Leeds side, and I think I'll just have to play on the wing if I'm asked to play there.
Audley, at the end of the day, all the enthusiasm just wasn't quite enough, but my word, you ran them close.
We did well in the end. They're just a bit of experience. They played a bit more football than us, but it's like we've only played 3 games. We'll still be there at the end, hopefully.
Well, you certainly have shown the commitment that you're going to survive in this league.
Oh, I'm quite confident we'll survive at the end of the day. We've proved a lot of people wrong. We've just got a few more basic mistakes and little things like that that's let us down.
There's certainly no lack of commitment in you either, and they love you here, don't they?
Oh yeah, I've been here 9 years now and things are just getting better. Hopefully this is just a setback, a little setback, and next week we play Wakefield at home and away to Oldham. Hopefully we just can keep the ball rolling.
How do you think you will come back from this setback? Because of course it's all been success, hasn't it, so far?
Well, we've only played 3 games, like there's 27 to go. So really we should be able to bounce back. We're confident, we play with each other, and we're not no big guns, so hopefully at the end of the day we'll still be here.
What about Leeds? You've seen them now firsthand. Are they championship material?
Well, I don't know because it's early days yet. See, like they've capitalised on our mistakes. When going gets tough and they play the likes of Bradford, the teams that keep on coming again, we'll just see if they've got it at the end.
Dougie, 3 out of 3. Is the message to the rest that Leeds are not going to produce a false dawn this season?
Well, I think the boys have put a lot of effort in today, and it has been a difficult game because I don't care anybody says this is not a bad outfit, Doncaster, and Workington aren't either. So the 2 sides have come up. I've played them both now, and I've been quite surprised by their efforts and the enthusiasm. Now, whether they can keep that throughout the course of the season, I don't know, but this is certainly a good little, strong, tough side.
Certainly, when you looked at the fixtures and saw you had the 2 promoted sides early, I mean, you could have done with them about Christmas, couldn't you?
Well, I think one of the promoted sides was top of the division last year after about 3 games, wasn't it? So, no, you just got to take it when it comes. But I mean, I think, you know, I'm proud the lads have worked hard and they've stuck at it. I think a few decisions went against us, but you got to live with that.
I think this is a different Leeds team, though, this season, isn't it? You're dying for each other on defence.
Oh, the spirit's there. I mean, it's been there since about Christmas, really, last year. And it takes time to get it, but at the end of the day, somebody asked me once what's motivation. I said, well, motivation is really like being brothers and fighting for another, and that's what you're doing at the moment. And I think that'll keep going. So we're going to be difficult to beat. We've got a bit of strength in depth. We've got a lot of options now. It was a bonus last week when Ollie played so well at full-backs, so that means if Tatey gets injured, I'm not that worried about the full-back spot. I've got cover in most positions now, so I can have a go, but there's still a lot of good sides out there.
3 out of 3. The fourth match is Wigan.
Yeah, well, that's going to be difficult, as we all know. Anybody going to Wigan's going to have a game on. But if I can get there with my side, which I don't think of any serious knocks only to James Laws, then we can give it a go.
The statistics from this match: Leeds working harder than Doncaster in the tackling department. Scrums just going Doncaster's way. 16-8 the penalty count in Doncaster's favours. That's quite overwhelming. Handling errors 12-11 to Leeds. And as far as the game went, it was Doncaster's first half, but the second half most definitely Leeds. So a great game here at Tattersfield and a record crowd inside the ground to see it. Marvellous entertainment from first minute to last. And Steve-O, that really was one of the best matches we've seen for a long time.
Certainly was one of the toughest games I've seen for many, many a day. Both sides need congratulating on a tremendous effort. And really, when you think about it, it had to be the skill, the class and the speed of Leeds that finally got them there. Doncaster's effort was superb, but when you've got men like Iro with the strength, 2 superb passes from Gary Schofield made the openings, and of course when you got the speed of Tate on the wing, it really did tell in the end. But full credit to both sides, it was a cracker.
Absolutely, and it does, of course, tee up our match on Sky next Friday at Central Park, Wigan against Leeds. That will be a terrific encounter, and you can see it live and exclusive with us at 7 o'clock.